Well, I'm making a film. It's called
Brazil, where hearts were entertaining June. We stood beneath an amber moon and softly murmured someday soon. We kissed and clung together then. Tomorrow was another day. The morning found me miles away with still a million things to say. Now, when twilight dims the sky above, recalling thrills of our love, there's one thing I'm certain of: return I will to old Brazil.
What is Brazil? What is Brazil?
What is Brazil?
That's a very difficult one to answer.
It's half a dream and half a nightmare. I mean, normally you have reality and dreams, but in this, you have dreams and nightmares.
I guess you could say it's a farce and a romance, and it is a comment on society to come, the future of the world.
Brazil is a dream, and it's a fantasy, and it's a comedy, but I mean, to me, it's rather a chilling reality. Picture me in these.
There's something bizarre and extraordinary.
It's escape into the world of imagination and dreams.
It's a bit like a sort of film for teaching you how to cross the road, and it's all about minding where you're going.
I want to report a wrongful arrest.
Have you got an arrest receipt?
Yeah. It's the depths of the psyche. It's the unconscious uglies. It's the things you run away from. It's the things you don't want to see.
It's a very funny piece, but there's a kind of sinister threat in it.
I think it tells us about relationships between people in a world that has lost its humanity.
It's the myth of the free man in an unfree society.
I think in some of the ideas and thoughts and attitudes and fears about the establishment, about authority, about people doing as they're told unquestioningly, it philosophically comes from the same stable as Python. But in visual terms, it's pure Gilliam.
The film originally began down Port Talbot in Wales, and Port Talbot is a steel town, and the beach is absolutely black from coal dust that's sort of brought on. The ships come into the quays, and these great conveyor belts take the coal, and coal dust covers everything, so it's pitch black beach. And I was sitting there at sunset, and I just had this image of this guy sitting on this beach, looking out the sunset with a radio and picking up strange music like Brazil's and Latin American romantic stuff. And that's where it all started from. That's what the film is still about. It's about somebody trying to escape from it, or thinking there's an escape from it. When I first was writing this film, I had Jonathan in mind. As we were rewriting it, we were going to think he needed to be a younger character. And he read it and he called me up and said, I want to do it. I just said, okay, I'll humor him and give him a screen test. He did this thing, and I said, well, that's it. He's got the part. The minute Jonathan did it, there was no way anybody else could do it.
Jonathan is quite extraordinary, and he's extremely professional. He's been on set virtually every single day.
Here we are, your very own number on your very own door. And behind that door, your very own office. Congratulations, DZ-015. Welcome to the team. Yes. No. Cancel that. Send 2 copies to finance. Send that up to security.
You remember the documentary crew I told you about yesterday?
Hello, documentary crew. Oh, you're very nice. It's my big break into the glamour stakes, this film. Hollywood are baying for me. My involvement with Terry Gilliam goes back a few years ago, and he's very much an individual in his approach to his work. each day is a challenge for Terry, and it's I don't know, it's very good to be able to fulfill, or to want to fulfill, his imagination. Back into memory, central banking. I worked as a clerk for the ministry, the information retrieval, sort of computer-type clerk, who, from the greyness of life, basically dreams of another life, of being a sort of Superman hero figure, rescuing damsels in distress.
Now, this is a model of Sam in the film, who's having a dream of flying about. The hair's made of feathers, so as it travels through the wind, there's a little bit of movement from that. Inside this, we've got a motor that makes the wings flap up and down. We have to do this very, very fast because we're turning over at 5 times speed, because the clouds we use move their smoke and they move very fast. We have to slow them down to make them look real. On the back here, we've got this rather interesting piece of dressing, which looks very nice, but it also has a function, because when we fly the real actor, he'd be wearing these wings. They're about 13 or 14 feet wingspan. They're quite heavy. And we can use this system to take the weight out of the wings when he's flapping. He won't have to do any work, except for acting.
What do you want to do?
I'm not sure where the best place.
In The Meaning of Life, he did that short which was building moving along. When he writes in a script a building moving along, he doesn't want anything less than that.
Bending it when you're in that position.
That's right, yeah. If we were going to do flying for any other film, I wouldn't worry. But when Terry says he wants to see flying, he means he wants to see flying, nothing less than the virtual reality.
It's just the wrong, I mean, it just isn't allowing it to be.
Every time I read the scripts, I just get frightened. My heart's sort of going, oh, God.
You don't want that.
I was just trying to get that movement there. And it was... I lie to myself a lot, but it's all possible and easy. And I think it's the only way the films would happen, because then by lying to myself, I believe it's going to be possible, and I convince a lot of other people it's going to be possible. At least we start the process, and then we're into it. That's when the reality rears its ugly head. It's about right for Jonathan type.
Bamboo shoots under the fingernails to complete the picture. His glorious blonde wig turned out to be heavy hair, and the wind machine wasn't picking it up properly. His dream girl is totally giving of herself, which is polar opposite, the other end of the axis, to Jill, who is mortified of giving anything of herself.
I'm sorry, boys, but we haven't got any bacon. We got no bacon. We got plenty of room. Oh, it's all right, so we take a room.
Who's there?
Kim was sort of thrust into this crowd of real pros. She's fine, she's terrific. Yeah, she's got a good character in there.
And I know it's going to sound incredible, but I've been dreaming about you. No, not like that. I mean, I love you. I mean, in my dreams. I mean, extraordinary, isn't it?
She's very good here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good looking, sexy. Just my type.
I just don't deserve such terrific luck.
Damn right.
And that's what you need. When we start putting the sounds on, Terry, we'll be putting huge screams on, big boot sounds. We go bang! Ah!